Good morning, I'm Sarah Sapsanamma. Let's begin with the headlines of the hour. Power sharing dispute between Nepali Congress and CPN will stall key decisions in academic and regulatory bodies. Education Minister says appointments will move forward with party consensus. Unsafe abortions remain high 22 years after legalization, with 42% unaware of the law. Rape victims in Mahottari face social exclusion and obstruction while seeking justice. An Israeli airstrike on Gaza hit the home of a doctor, killing 9 of her 10 children. At least 74 killed by the Israeli military over the 24-hour period leading up to midday Saturday. And Arsenal clinches the UEFA Women's Champions League title with a 1-0 win over Barcelona. Stina Black's 10-year goal earns Gunners their second European crown. Power-sharing disputes between Nepali Congress and CPN have stalled key decisions in academic and regulatory bodies. While a Vice-Chancellor committee was formed for Tribhuvan University, progress elsewhere is on hold. The Education Minister, meanwhile, has said appointments will move forward once party consensus is reached.
2 months after the position became vacant, a recommendation committee has finally been formed to appoint a new Vice-Chancellor at Tribhuvan University, Nepal's oldest and largest academic institution. However, the timeline for the appointment remains uncertain. In the absence of leadership, key academic, administrative and policy-related functions at the university have come to a halt. The situation is no better at the University Grants Commission, the body responsible for regulating higher education. The position of Member Secretary has remained vacant for 4 months. The Vice Chairperson's post at the Council for Technical Education and Vocational Training has also been unfilled for over 2 months. With no executive leadership in these institutions, several donor-funded projects have been left in limbo.
हामीले दैनिक अफिसियली कामकाजहरु चाहिँ अगाडि बढिरहेको छ, तर चाहिँ नीतिगत जुन निर्णय, जुन कुराहरु, जुन एक्टिभिटिजहरु नीतिगत रूपले लङ टर्मको हिसाबले तो प्रभावित हुन्छन्, त्यससँग सम्बन्धित हुन्छ, ती चाहिँ कुराहरु चाहिँ भएका छैनन्.
Other major institutions including Patan Academy of Health Sciences, Pokhara, Karnali and BP Koirala Institutes of Health Sciences are also operating without vice chancellors. Education Minister Raghuji Pant has stated that appointments will be made soon following the formation of recommendation committees based on political consensus. Academics warn that prolonged vacancies in leadership positions are not only undermining the functioning of higher education but also damaging Nepal's academic reputation globally.
अब यी विषयहरुमा ध्यान दिएर एकदम मेरो एजेन्डामा छ, हैन, कतिपय हामीले मात्रै टुङ्ग्याएर पनि हुँदैन, संयुक्त सरकारका सहभागी अरु दलहरुले पनि टुङ्ग्याउनु पर्ने विषय छ. त्यो त्यसलाई करिकरी आधा काम सकिएको छ. अब आधा काम चाहिँ हामी छिटै टुङ्ग्याउँछौं. सामान्यतया दलमा त बसेपछि म त मेरो मन्त्रालयको काम गर्दा सचिवलाई सोध्छु, सहसचिवहरुसँग सल्लाह गर्छु, मेरो आफ्नो सचिवालयका मान्छेहरुसँग सल्लाह गर्छु भने, अनि सरकारमा काम गर्दाखेरि त सहयोगी दलहरुसँग अब यसो गर्ने भनेर भन्नु त प्रधानमन्त्रीले वरिष्ठ नेताहरुसँग सल्लाह गर्नु त स्वाभाविक हो नि, त्यसलाई अन्यथा लिनुहुन्न.
Concerns are growing over the politicization of academic appointments. Experts stress the need for timely selection of qualified and competent individuals to restore credibility and prevent further decline in the sector. For Kantipur News, Rupak Koirala and Binod Koju on the camera. A report by Narayan Kilambu.
The Ministry of Home Affairs has pledged full cooperation with the Commission for Investigation of Abusive Authority (CIAA) in its probe into the alleged extortion of funds from individuals travelling abroad on visit visas. In a statement, the ministry announced that it would disclose the full truth to the public once the CIA's investigation into the operations of the Airport Immigration Office is complete. The authority is investigating Deputy Secretary Tirtharaj Bhattarai and others within the Ministry of Home Affairs on suspicion of collusion with human traffickers who facilitate the travel of Nepalese on visit visas. While the authority's investigation is ongoing, the ministry has already removed more than 8 employees from their responsibilities. The ministry also clarified that its leadership is not involved in the Immigration Office incident. This statement was issued in response to media and social media speculation linking Home Minister Ramesh Lekhak to visit visa extortion case, with the ministry unequivocally denying any involvement. The ministry reiterated its commitment to a zero-tolerance policy against all forms of irregularities and criminal activities, emphasizing its ongoing efforts to implement policy and institutional reforms to streamline the home administration. Now, Nepali Congress leader Shekhar Koirala has called on Home Minister Ramesh Lekhak to resign on moral grounds. The leader said it would be appropriate for Home Minister to resign on ethical grounds. His remarks came after questions were raised regarding the Home Minister's alleged involvement in the illegal departure of Nepalese to foreign countries under visit visas, reportedly in collusion with the Immigration Office. Citing past instances where ministers resigned following public scrutiny, Koirala said Home Minister Lekhak should also follow the same precedent.
नहोला उहाँको इन्भल्भ कसैको नहोला तर इस्यु आइसकेपछि आफू क्लिन छु भनेर देखाउनको लागि पनि छानबिन हुन जरुरी छ.
Koirala also suggested incorporating a cooling-off period in the Civil Service Bill. He stated that such provision is necessary as constitutional bodies are increasingly being treated like retirement clubs for former secretaries. It is time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion. The question is, why do you think Nepali Congress leader Shekhar Koirala has demanded resignation from Home Minister Ramesh Lekhak, who is from his own party? Your options are A, questioning ethics of the minister, B, intra-party politics, C, a mayor's speech, and D, don't know. The voting is on. Visit www.kantipurtv.com or ekantipur.com to share your opinion with us. We'll take a short break here. More news coming up. Nepal's law has recognized safe abortion as a woman's right and is even provided free of cost. However, unsafe abortions remain more prevalent. According to government data, 52% of all abortions have been carried out in an unsafe manner. A government-led study revealed that the majority of abortions in Nepal are conducted under unsafe conditions. Out of 333,343 recorded abortions, only 176,216 were performed safely. The remaining procedures, which is about over 140,000, took place outside recognized health institutions, with 16,667 carried out using harmful methods. The current situation remains largely unchanged. Although the government has offered free abortion services through listed hospitals since the Nepali year of 2073, only 19.2% of health facilities nationwide provide these services.
यो सेवाले चाहिँ कानुनी मान्यता प्राप्त गरे तापनि हामीले देशैभरि 77 वटा जिल्लामा एबोर्सन सेवा चाहिँ पुर्याइसकेका छौं तर पनि अझै पनि 19-20% अस्पतालहरुमा मात्रै हामीले यो सेवालाई चाहिँ बाट सेवा दिन सकेका छौं.
Nepal legalized safe abortion in the Nepali year of 2059 and the Safe Motherhood and Reproductive Health Rights Act of 2018, along with its regulations, further recognize abortion as a component of women's health rights. The law permits abortion up to 12 weeks with a woman's consent and up to 28 weeks under specific medical conditions. However, access to safe abortion remains limited. Unsafe abortion continues to contribute to nearly 5% of maternal deaths. The same study found that 42% of women are unaware that abortion is legally permitted in Nepal even after 2 decades of legalization.
उहाँहरुको कामबाट गर्दा गर्दै पनि स्वास्थ्यमा समस्या आयो भने मात्र स्वास्थ्यसँग जोडिने हो. त्यसकारणले गर्दा अहिले हामी भन्ने गर्छौं हेल्थ बियोन्ड द हेल्थ भन्छौं. अब स्वास्थ्य भनेको स्वास्थ्य मन्त्रालयको मात्रै चाहिँ सीमा क्षेत्रभित्र रहेन, अन्य मन्त्रालयले पनि हेर्न पर्यो.
Government agencies claim to be working on the issue, but confusion over institutional responsibilities remains. The Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Health point to each other, while progress is slow. Effective coordination and joint efforts are now urgent if Nepal is to meet its commitments to reproductive health under Sustainable Development Goals by 2030.
हाम्रा सामाजिक सांस्कृतिक मान्यताहरूले गर्दा यो चाहिँ गोप्य कुरा हो भन्ने जुन हाम्रो सोचाइ छ त्यसले गर्दा चाहिँ यो देखिन्छ ल मात्रै भन्दा पनि समाज र संस्कृतिको विषय पनि जोडिएको यसमा अवस्था छ। हामीले प्रजनन स्वास्थ्य सम्बन्धी जुन शिक्षा हो त्यसलाई पर्याप्त रूपमा विद्यालय लेभलसम्म पुर्याउन सकेनौँ।
विद्यालय तहबाट चाहिँ हामीले शिक्षाको प्रबन्धबाट यथोचित रूपमा यथासम्भव हामीले के भनेदेखि तपाईले भनेका जस्ता यौनिकतासँग जोडिएका विषयहरू, स्वास्थ्य सरोकारसँग जोडिएका विषयहरू, समाजमा आउने भोलिका सुरक्षित गरप्रवर्तन लगायतका चाहिँ के भनेदेखि हाम्रा एउटा सवालहरूलाई सरोकारहरूलाई पनि समेट्ने गरी र अरू प्रकारका चाहिँ के भनेदेखि यौनजन्य विकृतिहरू सामना गर्नु नपरोस् भन्नको लागि पूर्व सावधानी अपनाउने चाहिँ के भनेदेखि त्यस्ता प्रिभेन्टिभ कोर्सेसहरू सहित हामीले समेटेर विद्यालयहरू सञ्चालन गरिराखेको छ।
Legal prohibitions alone has not prevented unsafe abortions. Awareness and access are key. The lack of clarity in institutional roles raises concerns over whether the continued prevalence of unsafe abortion is a result of systemic neglect. As women continue to lose their lives, Nepal risks falling short of both national and international health goals.
असुरक्षित गर्भपतनको कारणले गर्दाखेरि मातृ मृत्यु दर भयावह स्थितिमा छ। यसमाथि पनि अझै नेपालमा संघीयता भए पश्चात लोकल गभर्नमेन्ट, प्रोभिन्सियल गभर्नमेन्ट र सेन्ट्रल गभर्नमेन्ट हुँदै पनि यो हुनु निकै गम्भीर विषय हो। यसको कारणले गर्दाखेरि तिनै तहका सरकारले यसलाई निकै गम्भीरताका साथ यसलाई सम्बोधन गर्नु निकै आवश्यक परिसकेको छ।
With Murari Ghimire on camera, a report by Kripal Gautam. Now, on top of the struggle to seek justice and compensations, victims of rape in Mahottari are also facing intimidation from the perpetrators themselves. The social exclusion and stigma endured by victims have emerged as a pressing concern. A young woman from Samsi rural municipality in Mahottari faced an attempted murder in the last Nepalese month of Bhadra following a sexual assault. The perpetrator, Umesh Mandal, who is 48 years old and is from Ramgopalpur municipality, Ward number 4, was arrested and is currently in pre-trial detention. The survivor received medical treatment with the assistance of a non-governmental organization, but tragically, 2 fingers on her left hand had to be amputated due to electrocution injuries. Upon returning to her village after discharge from the hospital, the woman faced ostracization. With both parents deceased, no one in the village would offer her shelter. Although Mahottari District Court ordered some compensation from the Victim Relief Fund for her treatment, she has yet to receive the funds as she lacks citizenship certificate and a bank account. Now, alienated by her community, she has sought refuge with a woman who is herself a victim of a witchcraft accusation and is appealing for further medical assistance.
जीवन बितावे मेरा बहुते समस्या हो रहा है। हम कनित रही छी अकेला में कतहु आयो कनित रहली हम रूम में बहुते हमरा समस्या हो, टेंशन हो हमरा। गांव के लोग सब घिन मानी ही गांव घर में देख के तो मुखिया दादा ल दौड़ लिए विपिन दादा ल से हमरा नगिरता बना दा एना के बात भ गेल हब काम हब तो घर जाके कनली एकरा देहरी पर तो कहे भाग हमरा देहरी पर से न काने अत तोरा खातिर हमरा जेल जाए के हब हम न जोनी। सरकार से हम इतने चाहे छी हमरा इलाज उलाज करा दे, हाथ के खाई पिएला हमरा न है से हो कर दे खाई पिएला।
म पनि तकलीफ में छु, औलाई पनि उस्तै राखेको छु। आमा बुवा कर कोही छैन, यो पनि धेरै पीडित छ। ओकर धेरै अवस्था खराब छ, मतलब कोही साथ दिन सके छैन। गाउँमा ओकर गाउँ समाज घिन गर्ने होला, जहाँ जान्छ होला नराम्रो भन्ने, नराम्रो व्यवहार गर्ने, धेरै ओकर अवस्था खराब छ। मतलब धेरै तकलीफ में छ, खाए पिए में हर एक चीज में धेरै तकलीफ छ होला।
In the last Nepalese month of Chaitra in Jaleshwar municipality, Ward number 4, police arrested 18-year-old neighbor in connection with the alleged sexual assault of a 3-year-old girl. Less than a week later, a 7-year-old girl was abducted from her home in Balwa municipality and subjected to sexual assault. 3 individuals were arrested in connection with that incident. In the last Nepalese month of Asar, 4 individuals were apprehended accused of abducting a 13-year-old girl from Jaleshwar municipality, Ward number 9, holding her captive for a month and a half and sexually assaulting her. To date, these survivors await justice.
1.5 बरस से फिर अदालत होगी छी कुछ सुनवाई नहीं लिया नहीं घटना के कोई अथी हुई नहीं एकरा सबके कुछ नहीं कोई सुनवाई देलक अभी तकला नहीं हमरा कथी कहै छै कोनो क्षतिपूर्ति नहीं दिएलक नहीं कुछ भेल हम गरीब आदमी छी लाचार छी
अपराधबाट पीडित हुन्छ उसलाई समाजमा स्थापित हुन जुन छ क्षतिपूर्तिको व्यवस्था अलि बढी हुनु पर्थ्यो त्यो हाम्रो कानुनमा व्यवस्था छैन र व्यवस्था नभएको कारणले अदालतले त्यो रूपबाट दिन सक्दैन कानुनमा भएको क्षतिपूर्ति अदालतले दिलाइराखेको छ तर अति न्यून भएको कारणले त्यसबाट पीडितले जुन वास्तविक क्षतिपूर्ति पाउनु पर्ने हो त्यो पाउन सकिराखेको स्थिति छैन
The protracted judicial process often leads to further distress for survivors, resulting in many cases never reaching the courts. Poverty, orphanhood, lack of parental protection, and early marriage contribute to increasing vulnerability of children. Rights activists state, intimidation of survivors and political pressure frequently deprive victims of justice. According to Mahottari District Court, 41 new cases related to sexual assault have been registered so far this fiscal year. 50 such cases were carried over from the previous year. Of these, only 48 have been decided till date. The Women's Cell of Mahottari Police has received 1,177 complaints related to gender-based violence. A report by Bikash Arya from Mahottari for Kantipur News. Moving on, in our Public Voice segment, we've asked in several provinces what kind of films do they watch. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
हाम्रो देशको जो परम्परा हाम्रो संस्कार हिन्दू धर्म छ त्यो सम्बन्धी बनोस्
विकृति विसङ्गतिहरूलाई हटाउने खालको एउटा परिवार बसेर हेर्न सक्ने समाजमा एउटा राम्रो खालको सन्देश दिने खालको चलचित्र
सीमा क्षेत्रको हैन सुरक्षा बारे चाहिँ एउटा बनोस् भन्ने चाहन्छु
पुरानो संस्कृतिहरूलाई झल्किने खालको बनाउनु पर्यो
रोमान्टिक सिनहरु पर्छ अनि अब एक्सनहरु पर्छ राम्रो राम्रो एक्सन हेरेपछि अब आधुनिक युवाहरूले हेर्न रुचाउँछन्
केही ज्ञानमता कुराहरू त्यसमा मिल्दोजुल्दो खालको हुनु पर्यो आफ्नो फ्यामिलीहरु गएर बस्न लागेको हुनु पर्यो
मजाले बुझ्ने साधारण खालकै मुभीहरु चाहिँ अहिलेको अवस्थामा चाहिँ हामी नेपालीहरुले मन पराएको विषय
लभ स्टोरी अनि एक्सन खालको
समाजको यथार्थ चित्रण बोक्ने खालको हुनुपर्छ
पर्यटनको सम्भावना कृषिको सम्भावनाको बारेमा र करियर ओरिएन्टेड र लाइफ जीवन निर्वाह गर्न सक्ने खालको मोटिभेशनल फिल्महरु बन्नुपर्छ
That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.